Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rise and Recreate podcast, a place where stories of courage and reinvention remind us that we can recreate our lives at any moment we choose. I'm your host, Raechel Shannie, and today I am joined by Gina, who is the current owner of G-Dogz Pet Services. Gina has explored a variety of jobs, from working in mental health at a forensic hospital to being an executive driver to forging her own path and creating a business that truly brings her joy today. Gina, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to see how our conversation unfolds. And I'd love for you to just go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners and explain where you're at today before we dive back into your past to see how you got here.
Today, I'm a successful business owner, training and coaching dogs, and a homeowner in the last year. So pretty proud of that. You never know where you're going, but we're always recreating ourselves, and I believe that. So, as a business owner now, I'm always thinking and learning how I got here and appreciate those moments of life in my history that got me to where I am today. So yeah, your streets are a game, and it's been a life, and I've met a lot of interesting people along my way. So all those people have impacted me, so many different people. So I like to be here. It's going to be fun. I have a lot of stories about who we are and how we got here. And it's okay not to be okay. And mental health matters. And there's a lot of things in my life I'm happy to share about. So to help others with dogs, with humans. And it's okay not to be okay and ask for help. So let's do this. It's fun. So.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing, and congratulations on being a homeowner. I know that's a big deal. So I'd love for you, because you mentioned a couple of things, mental health matters, and surely there are some journeys that you went through where you realized you needed to ask for help. And I think a common thread among a lot of women and men too is we have this fear inside of us to ask for help. Even though when people ask us for help, we're more than willing to give. But for some reason, we create these stories that, no, not me. I can't ask for help. So I'd love for you, we're just going to jump right in. And I'd love for you to take us back to a time where you realized, I am safe asking for help.
Probably way back in 93, 94, I was a college athlete, and I wasn't playing ball anymore. And I got pretty depressed, and I didn't love basketball anymore. So I needed to ask for help, and I actually went to a counselor at Northern Illinois University and started counseling and therapy. I actually dropped out of college because I identified as an athlete, and I didn't know who I was then. So I started working with people in the mental health aspect. So that's where, with people with disabilities who are less fortunate. So you kind of got your footing on, wow, your life isn't that hard. You're giving back to other people. I then started coaching kids in basketball and just putting my love for basketball back into young kids and youth. So that's kind of where it started. And yeah.
That also is, the identity that we place on ourselves. When we identify with that too much, and then we lose that external aspect that we've identified with so deeply, it can cause a complete destruction in your life of, who am I now?
Right.
And I think that's something a lot of people can relate with, whether it's their job, where they've completely identified themselves with their job. So what advice would you have for somebody listening who's like, oh, that's me. I'm definitely identified with something external and outside of myself?
Don't give it the power to break you down. Give it the power to create something new for yourself. You never know where that's going to go. And always have other pieces to identify with yourself, because it helps ground you to create a recipe of a more beautiful life for yourself. You can always have that love for something, but put love in other things as well in your life that helps motivate you, calm you, and stimulate you when you need it most. And you're not realizing you're doing that in those moments, but you are.
It's like you break down to break through a lot of times. And so during this, shattering of your identity, of identifying as an athlete, and that's all you knew it to be, that was your world. And then you said that led you down the road of mental health. And I know you ended up working in that industry for quite a while. So could you take us through that journey and what you learned?
Sure. from working with people with disabilities to working with a client who had a sustained brain injury and could not walk for 6 months to working for the state hospital, maximum security forensic hospital in Madison, Wisconsin, where on TV now we have people that go and shoot up grocery stores. They shoot up movie theaters. Those are the kind of people that I worked with on a direct level, shaking their hands, playing basketball with them, seeing their families walk in, saying questions to me, how can you work here? Because I'm helping your family member. That's how I can work here. And you have humor and no judgment. I don't care what you did. You're still a person. Like you, Raechel, or me, we might have a family member that is severely mentally ill and become psychotic, and maybe will take some people's lives. And it's just earth shattering and so sad in so many reasons. And it affects not just them, but the whole community and their families for the rest of their lives. And within working there at Mendota Mental Health Hospital, we became family working with my people I worked with there. And we're family now because we've been through so many things together. So they're my ride or die best friends, a lot of these people that I worked with for my life. And I'll never forget, I worked for, here in Denver, Aurora Mental Health. It was a walk-in clinic. And we had peer specialists that worked there with us too. So people that were open to talk with clients about their histories of maybe being in that shooting at Aurora at the movie theater, and to help those people. I'll never forget that kind of person that I got to work with, who was open enough to be vulnerable enough to not be, oh, you're different. I can't talk to you like this. I can't talk, but she helped those people so much by working in that clinic. So those are the kind of people that helped me be okay and not be okay all in one time at times in my life. So I remember all that. I mean, yeah. So, and just working at a crisis unit, I'm glad they have the walk-in clinics here in Colorado now. And that started because of the shooting here at Aurora at the theater. Just
Absolutely. So you have really seen the depths of humanity, and it sounds like through witnessing these people at completely different levels than most people have interacted with others in their life. And it sounds like you really developed a deep sense of compassion. But I'm curious, when working in these environments, were there certain things you did to protect your own energy?
Yeah, kind of like now, you just shake that shit off. You don't take it personally. Like, now, I work with animals, but then, like, they're doing the best that they can do in that moment. Like we all, when we enter those environments to work in, and you just you don't take it personally. But you self-care outside of work. You exercise, you eat good, you go get a massage, you laugh, you travel sometimes. And you appreciate that you get to wake up at your house and you get to see the sunrise and you get to make a phone call. Like when you're in a maximum security forensic hospital, even at a crisis unit, sometimes you have to get rid of things, and some of those little things matter. So for me, just the little things of waking up and seeing the sun, and I have my capacities to make my own decisions, and the judge not making that for me. And I get more than one phone call a day, or I get the food I choose to eat sometimes. But self-care does matter, especially for people that do work in mental health. And I was not a counselor, I was a bachelor level person, so tech. But I think, having boundaries with the patients too. Like you can't share personal things, but you can have a good rapport with them, connecting and not take it judgment wise. And your energy, like if you walk in, you're just cool, they'll be cool with you. But if you're trying to be bossy, that's not cute to them. And being a woman in a facility like that with other, men and women, it's okay not to be okay outside of work, but when we're here, we're together, we're a family, and we're driving good. Because when we got a good jive, we got a good unit. And I worked with some incredible people in that environment, especially at Mendota Mental Health Hospital with the psych. And I also worked juvenile corrections, and that's a sad thing too. Because when you are born in a prison, you're not set up for success a lot of the time.
Mm.
So, and being a white woman in juvenile corrections with some of my white women supervisors, we were tough, but we were cool to the kids too. That's what matters, and that's what got us respected so much. And the people, that we worked with. If you work in psych, you're not okay. I actually said on a panel interview for Mendota Mental Health Hospital, there was 4 people, and I said, "You're not okay. You're not okay. You're not okay, and neither am I. That's why I'm a good fit to work here." And they hired me. So there it is. That's one of my best taglines. And
Yeah.
but you never know where that journey's going to go. But yeah, so it was a fun experience in my life, really.
Yeah, and even witnessing all of that, your solace was finding the joy in the little things that a lot of people overlook. So, take us through, the pivot. What made you pivot out of that career and into something completely different?
When I was working nights at the crisis unit, we had some downtime. Clients were sleeping, nurses, we did our checks, and we had some time just to look around what was out there. And I'm a hustler, so somebody was looking for some dog walker. And I just applied for her job, and she found someone more than a hustler, I think. But so I helped her with her business. I was actually still driving as an executive driver too, so that was quite interesting when you work in psych and you worked with someone that hurt someone, but then you shook hands with someone that was a presidential delegate or somebody, big, whoever they think are in the world. We're all just the same level of people, no matter what title we have in our world. How can you work there? Now I'm driving you that afternoon, but I shook someone's hand who killed someone, and shook someone who runs a $40 million company. We're all the same.
All in the same day.
That's right. That's right. One was a fist bump because we didn't shake patients' hands. You never knew what they had in their hands. And with gentlemen of their stature, whoever they are, the athletes, the musicians, but that's just how we are sometimes. Yeah, it was fun.
That really is some strong duality, though. Like in one day, driving a person with a $40 million business to then being around somebody who may have killed somebody. So what did that make you realize about humankind in general, witnessing that duality in your daily life?
We all go to the bathroom the same way. We all may eat the same foods, maybe a different way we cook it, out of a crock pot, an air fryer, or oven. We all drive the cars. They all have wheels on it. They might have different brands on it, but we all came out from the same way, right? From our moms, our badass moms who raised us. That's where it all starts. Our moms, like if we look back at our journey of our mothers, we have fathers, whatever that looks like for us. It's all different because we all have our different stories of our own fathers. And we all come from one person, our mom. So it's just interesting how some moms let us down because they didn't take care of themselves. But were their communities setting them up for success? But yeah, it was quite interesting because my people that I would drive, well, how was your day? Well, this is where I worked before, today. You want to talk about it? We can, confidentiality, of course, but, and then some of the people that I drove were just like me, and they were just down to earth people who were homeless, who were juvenile, who, maybe had some time back in the day places, but had families who, we're just normal people who are always right here, always just good humans.
Definitely.
And,
So you answered an ad to be a dog walker one day just out of curiosity and wanting to probably make a little extra cash.
right.
And so that one situation led you down a completely different path in life. So take us there now.
Well, I was still working at the crisis unit, working nights, and I knew in my brain I had to have enough money in my bank account to make the jump. And so I went down from 3 shifts working nights to 2 shifts, and then you get married and you're like, okay, well, we can do this. So I did it, got married, and started even before the marriage, dog walking for another lady. And I said, I'd like to help you grow your business. And she's like, the key words I heard from her were, I'm not a social butterfly like you. I don't want to grow my business.
What was her business?
She was a dog walker, the person that I
Okay.
worked for. I worked for somebody else. And I was like, okay, all right. You don't want me to help you grow your business? Well, I'm going to figure out how to do this. So I had a lot of time walking and thinking and talking and reaching out to the best people in Colorado that ran dog businesses. And there's no fear of failure because you put yourself out there. What's the worst they can say is no, but you got to put yourself out there. Remember those days where I'm fist bumping the prisoner or shaking the hands of the $30 million CEO on the same day, all the same people. What's the worst they can say? No. So just ask. And so I ventured out to a couple of business owners and they were very helpful, just saying, you can do this. Don't be afraid. So then had to talk to the person who had her business that I worked for, that I wanted to start my own business. And it's hard to let people down in a way, but you didn't. You were honest and you worked through that and you just kind of started your own brand. And that was pretty cool. I had a love for basketball. Being an athlete back in the day and having these now powerful women I see on TV running these college universities basketball programs, like, wow, okay, well, they did it with their brand way back in the day. So kind of put it all together with my brand and my logo and coaching kids. But that mental health matters too in a roundabout way. So that's how I started my business.
And you mentioned not wanting to let the person down that you were working for. And I think that keeps a lot of people stuck too, because they're worried about, like, what are other people going to think? I don't want to let somebody down. Maybe they have a partner and they're like, oh, this is going to affect their life too if I do this. And then I fail. And all of these thoughts just start rushing through your brain of, am I capable of owning my business? So walk us through what that looked like for you and how you continued to find the strength to keep going.
After I decided to start my business, you started it without the fear of failing. You didn't know what you were creating, but I knew I'm never going to fail. I'm never going to fail because I'm vulnerable to ask for help. Why? Because actually a motto at Mendota at the Forensic Hospital, our motto was, how can we help? So how can we help not be able to ask for help when I need it within myself? Okay, I never thought about that actually. This is the first, I just thought of that. It's funny how when you talk, like, how can I help you? But I'm not good enough to ask for help myself. So when I started my business, I needed other people to help me. I don't know how to do this. Can you help me? Reaching out to the community. Would you like to collaborate? No, I don't want to collaborate. Okay, that's good. Well then, that's fine. We'll figure out other people. And that, just going up to different in different brands too. I think people too with small businesses think, oh, it's just dogs. We got to talk to the dog people. We got to talk to the dog people. No, I'm going to go through the drive-thru at the Chick-fil-A and see how they're running their business. Okay, how are they going to help me run my business with their customer service? Or I don't know, the painters, the people that run small businesses for kids, all the different brands, the haircut person, the plumber. What does that service look like? And don't be afraid to reach out to other businesses that aren't even like yours that can help you with your identity or how you want to create what you're even trying to start with. It takes a village, and your village can look different. They don't have to be whatever you identify as. I don't even identify as anything. My name is Gina Lamay. And so be okay to go talk to different people that look different, that you speak different than you, different income than you, obviously, because remember, I worked with those people that had a psychotic break and killed someone, and that $30 million CEO man I'm driving around, or a woman, because they have their own things in their closet too. We're all the same.
Yeah, that is such powerful advice for people who are starting their own business, is to expand. Talk to as many people as you can. Don't be afraid. These are amazing tools, I think, for people to take into their business, regardless of what area their business is in. Like you just said, somebody in plumbing may have helped you with your marketing and advertising for your dog walking business. You never know. So how long have you been running the business for now?
10 years. It'll be 10 years, April 1st. No joke. Yep, April 1st. Yep. And now,
Wow.
from then, I was just a dog walker, and some people might identify me still as a dog walker, which is fine. That's okay.
Yeah.
But I coach dogs now. I coach families. I have families that travel. I get to drive dogs in my car now because they are my precious cargo. As I was driving the musicians, the presidential candidates, now I get to drive dogs, pick them up at their house, give them that full red carpet experience, and drop them off at wherever I live and take care of them or take them on adventures with me. And it's just kind of cool. Now I look in my rearview mirror. I had some beautiful people I used to drive. Now I got beautiful dogs as their families are traveling all over the world, or dealing with the loss of loved ones, or getting married, or whatever they're choosing to do, how to live their best life.
Yeah. So for somebody with an idea right now, just an
Yeah.
idea of
Yep.
maybe I want to start this business, what advice would you give them to just do the damn thing? Like, how would you walk them through actually starting?
Maybe just researching out of this area of Colorado, maybe somewhere out way in the world, wherever that looks. Google something, some town, some country, and just see how they're doing it. Whatever the idea that you have, it's not a dumb idea. You have to start with that one something and push Google, maybe, or push the number on the phone or the text message. I'm a verbal person, and so I want to make a phone call and to connect, just like we're doing right now. I think connection matters. Text messages, I don't know. I'm old school in a way, but we got to keep up with the times virtually and funny, and just whatever you feel, be your authentic you, wherever you can do the best for you. And don't ask for help that are people that are better than you. You have this idea, it doesn't hurt to make a phone call or an email, whoever they are. What's the worst they can say? Remember, no. That's the worst that someone can say, because you're going to get a lot of no's along the way, or you're going to fall down a little bit, or you might break your neck like I did in the first year of my business. And what happens? You just get up and you keep goddamn going.
Well, okay. So a couple of things here that I really want to call out is, if you put yourself in somebody else's shoes, like when people come to you, how open are you to helping? More than likely, you're going to be willing to help someone. And you just have to take that mindset and be like, okay, this could be scary. I'm asking somebody who I'm just so afraid they're going to say no. But the thing is thinking about them saying no sometimes is more scary than them actually saying no. The Band-Aid's ripped off. They said no. You move on. So thank you so much for sharing that with everybody. And now, I mean, I have to go into this, but you broke your neck the first year of being in a dog walking business that requires you to physically move for your job. And now here you are with a broken neck. Walk us through what that was like.
It was, I can remember the day, actually. It was June 12th, 12:30. I had a person that was living in my house that was actually a body healer. And I said, you know what? I am going to be biking Vail Pass. Something happens, I'm going to be good. You're going to take care of me. So I remember that. The last dog I saw that day was Merlin, a golden retriever. And so I'm driving with the person that I was with then up to Vail, and had my Badger jersey on, because I'm a Badger at heart. Go Badgers, Wisconsin. And got to the top, and I'm going down the mountain, and I hear this gentleman say, "Go Badgers." I'm like, "Go Badgers." And I'm going down, and I did something that probably wasn't the best thing to do, but I saw this picture. I took my phone out and I took a picture. And that was the last picture I took on my phone. And then I remember crashing, getting up, blood, cracked helmet, in and out, consciousness a little bit. And I'm just like, saying the person that I was with's name. That's all I remember. And I knew in that moment that I was going to be okay, because why? Because I could still talk and I had humor. I remember they rolled me into the ambulance and they're like, "What's your name? What's your name?" I go, "They call me G-Dogz. They call me G-Dogz." And the person I was with at the time, yeah, she's okay. That's her dog business name. And I winked at this girl. She kind of had hair like yours, a little bit longer. And I said, yeah, they call me G-Dogz. And I knew I could talk. I could move my feet. And I went to Frisco hospital in Frisco, and yep, I had a broken neck, stable fracture. And what were we gonna do? Well, we're in the ER, and I got to call my clients. I mean, I had a puppy the next day I had to take care of. I had walking, and then I remembered what happened. So I told the person I was with at the time, I took a picture of ahead of me, and I had crashed. That taught me a lot about pain, perseverance. I always have that. And again, you got to ask that question, can you help me? So I did a lot of natural healing. I was actually staying at a person's house before I started my business. I would house sit. So I reached out again, remember to ask for help. A person that owned a massage business because I could not sleep very well. So I wanted to sleep face down. So I opened up a massage table in a kitchen that I was staying at's house. And that's how I slept because that woman brought her table over to me to sleep on. But yeah, the person at the time that I was with helped me walk the dogs for like 3 weeks and open up the keys and the doors. But the dogs healed me, honestly. The relationship, to see those smiles, healed me, and I had a smashed in face and but pain, sometimes I feel bad for people that do have problems with medication and addiction. And doctors are sometimes so quick to give pain medication. I don't like meds. I've never done any drugs in my life, just things that doctor prescribe. But it's mind over matter. It's just keep moving, shaking that shit off. And don't forget that word, ask for help. And what you put in your body heals you. And just keep on moving. So, yep. And that was a hard time, but I didn't fear it. You just keep moving it. The dogs healed me. And some of those dogs are still alive. They have a dog who is 18 and a half years old that's still alive here from that day. That time of my life when I broke my neck. Ella.
Yeah.
Yep. So
so perseverance. You kept going through all of that. There was no pity, just okay, this happened. What now?
Yeah. But you gotta cry. I didn't sleep. Sometimes I felt psychotic. I'm gonna tell you, pain and not sleeping. Working in a forensic hospital, you saw people that became severely psychotic by not sleeping, and sleep is real. So if you're a small business owner and you're not okay, and your customer can't realize, that you need a mental health day, maybe they're not your customer. Just remember that too. It's okay to say, you know what, I need a day off. And
right.
You can just, that's okay. And now I'm better at doing that and scheduling some time or not fearing things. Sometimes fear wins. Don't let fear win.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's so important to take care of yourself first. Before you can give to others, you need to fill your own cup up.
Right. And I think that's how I handle working in mental health so well, because first of all, I wouldn't take anything personal that happened to me. You to give to others, you have to give to yourself. And especially in mental health, you just show up like they don't care what happened to you at home. It's like when you show up, it's about them and your 8 hours or however long, and to make them feel heard and validated during those experiences that you went through with them, violently or emotionally or hard stories, or whatever you had to be going through with those individuals that you worked with.
Right. And so find something outside of that brings you joy, so that you are full when you go to give yourself so fully to other people, that you have the energy to even give in the first place. Because if you're depleted and you're not taking care of yourself outside of any work, regardless of what work you do, it's so important to find things that make you happy. And I think for some people, they haven't found those things, they haven't found those things that have brought them joy. And so how would you explain to somebody to go to find the little things that bring them joy in the day?
You have to sit with yourself, without your phone, maybe, in an environment that's comfortable for you. And if you're like, oh, it's hard for me to be around this or this because of this or this. Okay, well, then go in those environments and just sit there and watch people, and maybe pretend they're your people. And then expand to maybe taking a class or go to a bigger group or take a cooking class with a group of people, go to a church. Um, Everyone can have a God, whatever that God looks like. It could be a dog for some. It could be a man upstairs. It could be old grandma that you still talk to when you're in your traveling trips. And it's okay to maybe go help somebody, because I think when we help, it's, Thanksgiving's coming along, or Christmas. Maybe start a drive with other people in your neighborhood or your neighbor. Can I buy you your Thanksgiving meal? Just give a little bit to somebody can fill your cup when you need it the most. So I think that could be helpful. And, some kind of movement of your body. If you're sitting, it's not good for your body or your mind. And get outside. Walk around the grocery store, go to the Home Depot, go to the pet store, obviously go foster a dog, go work at a shelter, a lot of different opportunities that you can do. And it's okay to be alone doing it, because you're never alone. You always got yourself to talk to. And I'm good at that. Sometimes I'll be doing my business, and between a job or something, I'll dance in the car to some song because it's good. And I don't care. I don't care what I look like. I don't care if my words aren't coming out right. I'm feeling good. I'm shaking my stuff up to get ready for the next coaching visit, meet and greet. Dog that needs me more than I never ever knew that they needed me. So I want to show up good for them. So music matters too. Makes you feel good.
Absolutely. Music, moving your body. I mean, You're so right. When you're stagnant, that's when you ruminate. That's when you sit in the dark thoughts sometimes. And to pull yourself out of it, I love your advice of just trying new things. And if you're not ready to try that thing, just go watch and be like, is that something that I could do? Okay, maybe. And then a little thought seed is planted. And then next thing you know, you could be doing that thing. And it's such a beautiful way to explore yourself, is to try new things, because something that really lights somebody up, that might not be for you. Like maybe you're like, oh my gosh, everybody always says they find so much joy in running, but I just do not like running. That's okay. You don't have to be a runner. Right. Go find something else that you want to do. Maybe you want to skip.
Right. Just move and have fun.
But you don't know until you try.
Right. This past month, I was asked, do you want to be in our wedding with our dog? And I was like, wow, what an opportunity. G-Dogz gets to dress up. Was I scared? Absolutely. In ways, because you want to represent, you want to do this, but I can walk dogs and be dog, that was fun. And that was a fun opportunity. So let's look for growth, wow, do something that you're not good at yet, but you got a lot of time to get ready for it. And what an opportunity. That was so fun. That was fun. I swear sometimes. Right. Sorry. That's how I roll.
Oh, that's okay. I roll that way too. So, even just listening to your story, like the recreation of life just happens so many times. Like we are meant to continue to grow and expand. And, I hope you can find a bit of yourself in Gina's story. And if you're feeling a little stuck, or if you're, maybe you're working a job that you just really don't like you are never stuck. So what advice would you give to people who are feeling like, oh, I don't know, especially with work? I think that's where it comes in a lot for people, is they don't see how to get out of a job that they really don't like. What would you say to them?
Look at that job like an opportunity for growth for you, not your lifetime thing. So when you're sitting there and you're seeing how they're running it, find your passion and go start something on your own. It might take a while, but just find something that you can do yourself in a way, or get a couple people that you might think might be helpful, so it might not be so scary, whatever that looks like. I mean, if you're working in a company, that company could be run better. Well, shoot, maybe you could be an executive organizer for a community and their houses. So that's a big opportunity for for things. You know, if you know how to organize, if you're great at organizing at work, maybe you could go help someone organize their house. And then there's so many creative things that you could do with that with your business. Um, just ideas. You have to have that one idea. Go volunteer somewhere that you thought maybe you could learn something that could help you run a business that way. Um, don't be afraid, you know, have enough in your bank account. And you know, everyone thinks they need all this stuff. You really don't. I'm a minimalist. I don't like a lot of junk. It's too much chaos. And it's just filling voids. You got to fill your soul, not your closets. That's just how I operate. I've had this shirt for probably 12, 13 years. But I don't know, just do it.
I
Don't be
love that
afraid.
so much.
Just
Fill your soul, not your closets.
Exactly. You know, it's, you know, again, like I worked with, you know, who they are and who they are with cuffs on, you know, we all got the same closets, you know, we all fill up our closets, but are we filling up our souls? And you got to fill up your soul with things that, you know, fill it up for you. And yeah, like I kind of want to start like talking more with families and in general within my dog business, my dog coaching business, about mental health within yourself and how it affects your dogs. Because I can walk in a house and I can kind of feel what's happening or what's going on, but me personally, I know I have to be okay mentally to help my animals. But now, like, your mental health affects your dog, so I kind of want to take that to the next level with my business somehow, incorporate that and
Yeah.
reach
I mean, I'd
reach
love for
that.
you to expand on that a bit right now
Yeah,
if you're
yeah,
comfortable. Just
yeah, yeah. So again, there's disorganized chaos people that are anxious, and then there's anxious people that are organized in a way in their homes and their dogs' environments and their oh, my dog needs me. My dog, you know, is always with me, but are you given what your dog needs? I work with a service dog, and that person needs its dog because it was specially trained for 2 years with dogs. When you go outside in the world, are you your best self? I was working with a trainer who was training me to work with the client's dog, and the client, you know, loves their dog enough. We're having 2 trainers work with our dog. I saw that trainer get on the leash, breathe through the leash with the dog on its level, and that dog remained calm. So it was very interesting to watch that occurrence. So um, I believe we have a more structured home and it's more organized. I'm not saying minimalistic, kind of like, you know, I choose to live in certain ways, but the environment your dogs live in is sometimes created by your own chaos, your personal chaos. That could be external, the external environment, or internal because of things that may have happened to you or you haven't dealt with, or the relationships within our house, the kids, all this that affects your dogs. Any of your cats. I work with cats too. I'm not a cat coach, but I do take care of cats sometimes too when people travel. But definitely the dogs are affected by your lack of self-care of yourself. And
absolutely.
so when you see puppies doing their puppy social yoga and their downward dog and they're next to them, they're calmer. People are like, how do you do this with this? Well, I'm calm here, so they're calm there. Like, and their expectations, but yeah, and the
Yeah.
environment. So that will be another, maybe someday. I've been thinking about that in my brain about.
Absolutely. We talk a lot about energy on this
For
podcast and
sure.
how
Yep. Go
energy
ahead.
affects others, and dogs are no different. You know, like what is happening in your own energetic field, all living life picks up on that. So I'd love to
Right.
hear your perspective from like an energetic standpoint.
Yeah. Um, so remember those times where we had a violent, psychotic patient and we had to go hands on with them sometimes to maybe get med administered because of that judge. and you had to restrain or fight, or that's not the right word, fight, but it became violent. So
Mm-hmm.
now, energy and me with dogs, have I have I always been well with every dog I've met? Absolutely not. Is it hard? Have I messed up? Absolutely. Have I apologized sometimes to humans and dogs? Absolutely. Um, so it takes time. It takes breathing. It takes sitting outside a kennel with a dog and throwing treats, but taking deep breaths even before I walk in that house. Just like I had to put hands on patients sometimes, like put cuffs on. Now I'm putting harnesses on over dogs, clipping dogs up, walking. Um, it's your energy. If your energy ain't right, don't do it. You know,
Yeah.
when you're ready to jump out of your job, if your energy's not right, don't do it. Make yourself strong before you make that jump.
Mm-hmm. And so what tools have you used along your way to, a lot of this is nervous system regulation and regulating
Yep.
your nervous system, which then spreads out to your energy, your aura. So what tools have you used in your life to calm your nervous system and get in that more, neutral state before you do the hard things?
Um, yoga, cold plunge, food sometimes. I don't focus on my diet that much. Believing in something, believing in your
Mm-hmm.
God, believing in helping others, music, hearing good songs that have good memories and dance it out. Um, breathing, watching your
Mm-hmm.
hand, watching your, not even watching, but counting sometimes, crying sometimes, giving
Mm-hmm.
yourself that space to feel
Mm-hmm.
and cry. And anger, I think, within humans just becomes cancer. That's just my personal belief, or a sickness. If you're angry all the time and self dysregulate, I'd rather have a person that's more vulnerable to cry with me than yell and be angry with me, whoever that looks like. Um, but yeah, cry. It's okay to cry, and
Mm-hmm.
don't male, female, whatever. Just let it out. It's kind of like a reset. So when you see a dog shake it off, sometimes we have to cry to shake it off too, to get going. And crying's sexy. I always remember it was in a yoga class within the last couple of years. And I think that yoga instructor after that class always like tell people how they've impacted your life. I was at a yoga class in Cherry Creek at Lifetime Fitness, and I was crying in that class, doing a downward dog and then just crying, crying, crying. And I was like, thank you so much for creating an environment where I could be vulnerable to cry in your class. And I didn't care who was around me, because who cares? Seriously. If you care about that, then you're not ready to cry in front. You're not ready to deal with your emotions publicly. So work and be safer about it or whatever. So, yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
always go up to someone and say how they impacted you. You know, you don't know
Mm-hmm.
how that's going to maybe they needed to hear that. Maybe they weren't okay. So I
Mm-hmm.
challenge people just to go up to someone and say, "How you impacted me like that." I don't need anything from that, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that brings so much joy to
hmm
somebody else's life when you explain how they've impacted you, which then
hmm
you get to be in that joy with them. And you said a couple of things here that I think are really, really, really important for people to take away. And that is go within yourself to feel. And when you do cry and when you do these things, you are moving that energy through your body, and energy is going somewhere. So when you cry, you're releasing this energy. And a lot of times that's why you feel lighter, because you truly did release energy. And the most important lesson I think here is feeling safe in your vulnerability. And that's something that was an intention of mine this year, is feeling safe in my vulnerability, being able to really open up to people and to be witnessed in my lows, to be witnessed crying around other people. And that was a big deal for me because I had to break down a lot of hyper independence this year to get there. But through that intention of feeling safe in my vulnerability, that led to me creating this podcast. And you just never know what's going to happen when you feel safe enough to reach out to people and you feel confident enough that you can survive maybe the no's that some people throw at you. The doors that open are absolutely incredible. So Gina, through this conversation we've had today, what parting words would you like to leave the audience with? What is your message to the people from your heart?
I'm going to use a quote that you will never be surprised. I heard this quote in the last couple of years with my business because I had to do just a few things that were not the normal for G-Dogz in ways. And I had this one dear family member tell me once, "We're here to catch you so you don't fall."
Mm.
And it was just like so impactful. So I used that. I guess the last words to you all out there, ask for help. It's okay to be at the bottom because you're at the bottom now, you're here. The only way you got to go is go up. And ask for help, cry, show tears more than anger. And your family is in all your blood. You create your own family, whatever that looks like, wherever you came from. And get some kind of animal in your life because it gives you purpose to get up, get going, and helps you feel comfortable doing uncomfortable things sometimes. You got that little companion. Keep a little dog. It's easier to travel with. You can put it on an airplane better. I mean, I work with all dogs, but a little one. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, you want to touch it? It gives you the opportunity to pass it to somebody, to connect with somebody. So a little dog can bring so much joy and so much more opportunity for you in your life. And find your God, whatever that looks like. Could be your dog, could be that person upstairs, could be your old grandma you can talk to. Buy a trip. If you can't afford a trip, maybe your friend will help you. Maybe you can go help take care of one of their family members so they can help you afford a trip, an airline ticket somewhere. Maybe go for 2 nights. Go do something by yourself. Jump outside your comfort zone. Get vulnerable and go talk to a stranger. You never know what that can do.
Yeah. There's been so many beautiful lessons in this conversation that have unfolded. People are all the same from you working with the two very different types of people in the world, like we mentioned, and being safe in vulnerability and asking for help, all of these things, finding what lights you up, what brings you joy. All of these things really do just lead to a more fulfilled life. So Gina, thank you so much for being here today. For everyone listening, I hope you saw a piece of yourself within her story. I hope you left with some tools to take away that made you realize, okay, I am not stuck. There is something I can do today, right now, in this moment, after listening to this podcast. Find something that brings you a little bit of joy and see how your day unfolds. So thank you all for listening. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Gina.